Cheers. We got a new one. Okay, welcome to part 2 of our double feature tonight. Going back to the 60s. This is... Well, that doesn't read so well, does it? There we go. Carnival of Souls. A story so unusual it will burn itself into your mind. A weird tale of the unnatural. Pardon me. A picture that will haunt you, starring Candace Hilligoss and Sidney Berger. Okay. Carnival of Souls is a 1962 Harcourt production, directed by Herc Harvey. I gotta look up Herc Harvey and see if he, or what else he did. Okay. Tragedy strikes as two cars are racing side by side down a bridge. One of the cars, packed with 3 young ladies, crashes through the guardrail and plunges 20 feet down into the river. Rescuers scour the river for signs of the car, but to no avail. Suddenly, one of the 3 emerges from the murky waters. Her name is Mary. Mary, it turns out, plays the organ like, the church organ, and has taken a job in Utah, of all places, as a church organist. Although it didn't seem to be a Mormon church. She recovers from the wreck and leaves for what I presume is Salt City. Being kind of a native myself, moved here in 1970. '70 through 81. So basically my whole childhood that I remember was here in the Salt Lake City suburbs. Okay, along I-80, she sees the weathered remnants, right over there, of the once luxurious Saltaire resort. Kind of a sultan's palace on the lake shore. Google it. It's kind of an interesting attraction. But that's not all Mary sees on her trip into town here. The dead are walking the highway. Well, she makes it to town and she settles into her new digs, which seems to be just a room in a house. The landlady seems nice, but the next door neighbor is a drunken lech. Not all bad, though. He's not, menacing. But something is amiss. Poor Mary, she just doesn't feel quite right. And then things really start to turn weird. Like, people just don't see her anymore. Like she's not even there sometimes. Throughout, she is drawn back to the lake, where haunting images come to her. The carnival. Yeah, the old days out there. The boardwalk. Ballroom dancing. There's just something about the place. Mary slips into a trance at work. She's playing church music. And she slips into a trance and is fired from her new job for playing what seemed to me like normal organ music. I wouldn't have known it wasn't another church song. It's not like she just started playing like Deep Purple or Inagata Devita or something. Nonetheless, it really pissed off the priest. From there, she returns to Saltaire and awaits her fate. Okay. This is really a very good movie. It is slow at times, so if your attention span is low, like a lot of people nowadays, you might struggle with it. But it doesn't drag by any means. I love the scenes of the old Saltaire Resort. Although the place is still there, and I don't know if it's currently in operation, but when I wrote this, I mean, in the 90s and even into the early 2000s, I saw the likes of Fire Hose, the Butthole Surfers, legendary Shack Shakers, Junior Brown, the Reverend Horton Heat, all out there at the Saltaire. I even saw Marilyn Manson. That's probably the last show. They had like box seats up on the upper deck. Sat up there with my friends and saw Marilyn Manson down there on the stage where the ballroom used to be. Anyway, little is left now of the former glory. The structure's still there. It's still kind of the same shape, but it doesn't have the ornate rooftops and there's no boardwalk. There's a pier going out, like more like a rocky jetty going out there. And in 1962, it had decayed, but the former glory was still evident. They hadn't stripped all that stuff off to reopen it as a concert venue. Okay, atmosphere is key here, and Harvey builds quite the atmosphere in this movie. Creepy atmosphere with the roadside Walking Dead, the spiraling organ music throughout, and the zombie-like Mary just stumbling through her life. Five. It's a 5-ring circus on feature 2 tonight. Carnival of Souls. Now I understand, although the Saltaire and the roadside sequences were filmed here in Salt Lake, that all the indoor sequences were filmed in, I don't know, Indiana or somewhere, which would explain why it wasn't a Mormon church she was playing the organ in. You could probably still shoot Mormons. Wait, that was Missouri. Until 1969. Okay. Let's pick us a new movie. And then I gotta get Charlie to bed. Are you ready, monkey? Let's do it. Oh, look at that. We got one and only one. So, yeah. That's what we're going with. So next week, and I'm presuming I'd be here next week. So let's just hope, okay? We have Horror Rises from the Tomb and Terror Creatures from the Grave. You can see I don't write the whole titles on there. It'd be too big. Horror Rises from the Tomb and Terror Creatures from Beyond the Grave. Next week on the Late Night Picture Show. Reflect what you saw. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some thumbs down. Leave me some comments. Like all my good buddies there. Most of them from Twitter. Where we do all our talking. and I'll see you next week.